That's how I knew this was God led. So every time I would have sex, even though it will be incredible and it will be with people who I care about, I highly recommend, even if you don't stop having sex, because I'm going to try to get you to stop having sex in this podcast, that you at least have sex with men who bare minimum honor and respect you. And I was doing that.
All right, fam, this your boy, the Minister Reverend J. Whitfield Inspires, Jonathan R. Whitfield, and I'm here today in studio, my great friend, the lovely Corin Graham. Say hey to the people.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes, it's been a long time.
I'm very excited for this.
Yes, indeed. So y'all know on my channel, we discuss a lot of, relationship topics, particularly Virgo men and things like that. And from the male perspective, so today, we just want to talk about a few things regarding relationships. And so Corin, I've been watching her channel and her Instagram and things like that, and she be putting out some heat about relationships. So today we're gonna talk about relationships, sex. You know what I'm saying? We Christian people, you know what I'm saying, but we ain't perfect. So we want to get some of this stuff in here, and I appreciate her perspective about empowerment and holding within and just what men think, what women think. So I hit her up, I'm like, yo, we got to talk about this because this is some real stuff. So first, tell the people a little about yourself, some of the stuff that you do and what inspires you to start talking about these topics, because it ain't popular.
It's okay. It's not. It's about to get big though.
So they want to bring you at the stage.
Existence. Okay. So hello, beautiful people. My name is Corinne, and I particularly help women embrace a life of joy through sex and self-love, and in that order. Okay. In that order. And I feel like it's really hard for women not to have joy if they don't have self-love and if they don't have a really, really good sex life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about it. I want to, with that, I was looking at your page and you were talking about like something like harnessing your sexual power, not giving it away.
Yes.
Even if you have to let some things go, let some guys go.
Right.
And things like that. So what has inspired you to do that? What has the journey been like? Because that's a tough thing. And I hit you up and I was telling you that, some of the things you're saying is true. Because one thing you said, if I can remember correctly, you was like, you're gonna get some rejection from men, but men will still respect you anyway. If they really like you, they respect you anyway. And you said that you really haven't gotten too much negativity back. Yeah. You really let them know what it was. Talk about that.
Yeah, okay. I love that you said that. I'm gonna give you a crazy example at the end. So this is more God-led. Hey mama, I was having phenomenal sex. Okay. A lot of women were not.
Yeah.
70% of women are not satisfied in the bedroom. And I know a lot of friends under 30 who are like, I just want to get it over with. Like, I don't even want to participate. Like, I only do it because that's what he wants to do, whatever. And I was like, this is terrible. I can't relate to any of these things because I'm a very sexual person. And so this is how I knew this was God-led, because I love sex. Sex is so much fun. Sex is so much fun. Like, I'm not gonna get too deep because you said it's Christian, so I try very hard to scale back. But that's how I knew this was God led. So every time I would have sex, even though it will be incredible and it will be with people who I care about, I highly recommend, even if you don't stop having sex, because I'm gonna try to get you to stop having sex in this podcast, that you at least have sex with men who bare minimum honor and respect you. And I was doing that. And still something fell off. And Holy Spirit was like, you're not supposed to be doing this. And I was like, all right, but you feel me? He just texted me, so we about to go over this way. And then I just eventually was like, felt so convicted. And then I just stopped. And then that's when God started bringing my book to me. And then that's when God started bringing awareness to everything that was going on. And God spoke to me about cheaters. And I don't watch cheaters. But God was like, turn cheaters on. And I've seen women run up and down parking lots, slash tires, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then God was like, look up the statistics. Black women lead in every single STD. You can name me one. You can name me a random STD, and Black women lead in it.
I didn't know that.
In every single one. We lead in single parent households, which leads to poverty, which feeds the school to prison pipeline, which leads to inequities and more racial disparities that we could start to get a handle on if we chose better with the man that we were procreating with and the standards that we had for them in order to get access into the sexual realm. Because I don't just think that men are having sex with us. I think that they are having us and we are the owners of the sexual realm. Mm-hmm. So when I saw that, I was like, I can't not say anything, right? Right? I can't not say anything. I can't continue to participate in this culture and say Black Lives Matter and not tell the women who are having the Black children that you have to choose better, right? That we can't keep choosing men who don't defend the community. That we can't keep telling men, you get to have my body and my soul and my womb and I'll have children for you and you can leave me whenever. Like we cannot keep that going. So it was the Holy Spirit first, and then when God showed me the Carfax and the receipts, I was like, okay, like I really need to speak up about this. So that is how that happened. And that's how I've been able to sustain it, because I don't just feel like it's my sex life anymore. I feel like people are invested in my in my sex life now, and that I get to minister to people not through my words, but through my life. And so to go back to your question of how men treat me great. I love men. I adore men. Like I can't resonate with women who are like, men are trash and men are dogs. I know where that comes from. Yeah. But I can't resonate with that. Like even when I was in the car and you text me like, hey, make sure you don't miss this. And like even the spot you booked this, I did none of these things. Like I love men. I love the way that men show up for me in my life. So I also think that in my choices, men respect me more because I respect myself more. That's and I bring them an energy of, I don't bring them an energy of lack. And the men I typically deal with don't operate in lack. And so they recognize that and they're like, what?
That's real. You know, I think that's powerful because, like again, you said something like that in one of your videos. That's when I hit you up. I was telling you that men do that when women tell them that. Now you will get some men who they're not going to want to deal with you, right? But that's okay because that's what you don't want that anyway.
Don't want it,
you know. So if you're a lady, he's like, you know what, I want to wait till marriage or whatever your preference is, you want to do your guideline for yourself, and you share that with a guy that you like, he likes you, you know, he gonna either accept it or reject it. And if you reject it, that's okay because that means y'all going on two different paths, you know. But I said this. A lot of times guys will be like, if the guy really, really likes a chick, and sometimes she'll say that, he'll be like, he'll talk to his boys. He'll like, you know what, man, I like her a lot. I don't even want to have sex with her because I don't want to mess nothing up. You know, in I say all guys have said this at some point or another, and I think that's really deep because deep down inside, I think everybody knows what can go wrong with sex and stuff like that, and if it's not properly done and things like that. But when he really likes the chick, he'll say that sometimes. You know, cause we all have said. I got homeboys who said it, and you're like, man, I don't want to mess nothing up. Man, I like this girl, man. I want to, you know, it ain't about that. That means that he's starting to look at her essence, right? You know what I'm saying? Who she is, and think who she is as a woman. Because you know, we see women look good. You know what I'm saying?
And we do, and we do. You know? And it takes a great deal of discipline to. Because I look at women, I'm like, oh my God, like what? Why do you look that good?
Yeah, man. And so sometimes the things can fit into the primal nature of a man, you know, and he have to pull himself back. So a lot of times men, I tell men this all the time, a man's greatest challenge is self-discipline.
Ooh, say it.
I'm telling you, a man's greatest challenge is self-discipline in all areas of life. From a boyhood to a manhood, because if we can conquer self, you know, we can conquer the world. I truly believe that, because I see myself in areas where I was weak and I had self-discipline, you know, and I did things, you know what I'm saying? I was just a better person.
Right.
And the time I wasn't such I just failed. Right. You know, and what's the girl, the young lady, I'm gonna call her girl, who dated the pastor, beautiful young lady.
Megan Good.
Yes. What's the word name? Well, her ex-husband name?
Devon Franklin.
Yes, he wrote a book. I forgot the name of the book. But anyway, he was at Clark Atlanta a few years ago, right? And I went to see him. And his book was something about the taming the dog within or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a lot of ladies that showed up. I know what
you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a lot of ladies that showed up, but it was a lot of men that showed up too. It was overwhelmingly women, but it was a lot of guys in there. And it was in there just like, okay.
Yeah.
And basically the premise of it, he telling men to how to tame the dog within, basically how to discipline yourself.
Right.
Because as guys, you see women, you just want to let loose. You just want to, the dog. You got to tame the dog within. You just want to, that's why sometimes you'll see guys say crazy stuff to women, like catcalling or something like that. It's wilding. They haven't tamed the dog within. If women really knew what guys thought, y'all be like, oh, that was disgusting. Who made y'all? That's why guys have to like, look, do not say everything you think, because you're gonna scare somebody. But it really is important for guys to have that self-discipline. You have to practice it. You have to practice from a young boy. And I was a drum major on the band. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I learned a lot of my discipline, just of self in general. Because I was something I didn't know.